Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome to a new video on my Scary Stories channel. Now today is September 11th, 2023. That means today is the 20th anniversary of the 22nd anniversary of the World Trade Center, which I have the movie here, terrorist attack, September 9/11. So I decided that today's video, I'm gonna do something different on the channel and not cover people dying, basically. I'm gonna cover 9 survivor tales from September 11th. So let's do this. Title of the article says 21st anniversary, but this article was posted, as you can see at the bottom, September 11th, 2022. But the title is September 11th. I'm going to change the title a bit. September 11th, 22nd anniversary. 9 incredible stories of people who survived. By the way, my audio isn't synced. I apologize. The app I'm using to screen record sucks, but it's all I have. Like this one has some good stuff for editing and all that. The other ones don't have editing, so at least you can hear my audio. Anyway, Janelle Guzman McMillan was the last person pulled alive from the rubble. There's the picture. Which, they're gonna probably look like ghosts on the thumbnail. Maybe. That way I could try to fit every picture on the thumbnail of the people. Guzman Michelle and her colleagues decided to take the staircase down after the first plane hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center. When they reached the 13th floor, the tower collapsed on them. Y'all guys notice something? The scary part is the number. They were on the 13th floor. 13 is supposed to be supposedly an unlucky number. Guzman McMillan, now 51, was the lone survivor among her colleagues and was miraculously rescued after spending 27 hours trapped under the rubble. Source Star TV. I thought it was going to say trust me, bro. I actually did. I don't know if it's, well, Insider, I think, is real. Brian Clark was one of only 18 people in the South Tower to escape from a floor above where the plane struck. During his descent from the 84th floor of the Second World Trade Center, where the office of his international brokerage firm was, Clark stopped to save the life of a man, Stanley Pranoff, who was trapped. If I don't pronounce it right, I apologize, but Pranoff was pinned under some debris behind a wall that had stood firm, and Clark, who is 75, was able to hook his arms around Pranoff and lift him over. Is this about Brian or is this about the other guy? Although they both survived. Tom Sanavan dug upwards and crawled out of the rubble. Canavan, who worked at the first Union brokerage firm, was buried alive when the first tower fell on 9/11. He was saved from death, he told Reuters, because a large cement wall fell over him, which created a safe pocket in the pile of debris. He began crawling and digging upwards out of the rubble and eventually got to safety. In footage shared by National Geographic from September 11, 2001, Canavan describes his escape with remarkable claims. I'm not going to really let y'all watch the clip because I don't want this video to be super duper long, but I'll have the article I'm reading in the description. Click on the link in the description and go to the article and watch the video that way. No! Hold on. I accidentally played the video, but it's kind of blurry on my phone, so you know what? I'm gonna probably... Man, just click the link on the description. I'm not adding the video, so y'all can watch it. I don't want it to be super duper long. Captain J. Jones survived because he stopped the rescue of fallen woman. Captain J. Jones and 5 of his firefighters from Ladder Company 6 were exiting a search and rescue mission in the North Tower shortly after the South Tower collapsed. While Jones and the unit were on their way down the stairs, they spotted Josephine Harris, a 59-year-old bookkeeper who had fallen and was unable to continue her descent. They stopped to help get her to safety shortly after the North Tower collapsed around them, but Harris and the men were not crushed. You cannot say that something that happened to you is a miracle, Jones told the New York Times, but we had the courage to do what we did, and you can say that if she was not there for us to save her, we probably would not have made it. Lauren Manning has burns over 80% of her body. Don't look burnt. Manning was arriving for work at the... Hold on a minute. Manning was arriving for work at the North Tower moments before the first jet crashed into it. As she entered the elevator that would take her to her office, she was met by a fireball. She was burned on over 80% of her body and spent almost 2 months in a medical-induced coma. Manning made a recovery that surprised doctors. In 2013, then President Barack Obama cited Manning as an example of American people who bounced back. In July 2016, she gave a widely acclaimed speech at the Domestic Natural Convention. Ryan Birdwell survived the attack on the Pentagon and later became a state senator. Texas State Senator Ryan Birdwell, 61, was a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. and was working at the Pentagon when it was struck by the hijacked American Airlines Flight 77 on September 11, 2021. I mean, not 21, sorry. September 11, 2001. How is that? Why did I struggle to say that? He was left with severe burns over 60% of his body and was the lone survivor in the E-ring at the crash site. Birdwell told KWTX. Birdwell was awarded a Purple Heart in 2004 and spent the 13 years after that running a non-profit organization to support critical burn survivors. Burn? Those are burns? It looks like a normal face. Are they sure this guy was burned? In a June 2010 special election, Birdwell was elected to the Texas State Senate. He has been re-elected 3 times since. Sarah Reuter had her leg amputated and later competed in the Invictus Games. I don't know what the Invictus Games are. Reuter, who was in the U.S. Marines, was at the Pentagon on September 11th awaiting her promotion. Her promotion, Kim is Sharma. You'll see it. She was unscathed in the attack and was able to help others get to safety. She returned to the Pentagon 2 days later to assist in moving victims' remains, and during this effort, got her ankle trapped and crushed beneath a concrete barrier. After several reconstructive surgery, her legs was eventually amputated in 2014. 2014? This happened September 11, 2001. And September 11. Yeah, September 11. In 2016, Reuter competed in the International Invictus Games for wounded and injured servicemen and women. The 9/11 survivor won 6 medals. Will Jimeno, who was buried under 30 feet of rubble. Well, I want to see if there's any other stories. How many more there are. It looks like there's only one more after this. So let's read the story of Will Jimeno. After seeing the first plane crash into the North Tower, Jimeno, a rookie officer with the Port Anthony Police Department, rushed to a World Trade Center with 20 other officers. No, I'm about to say which one, but dumb me just read it. I'm stupid sometimes. It says the North Tower, so the one on this side, I believe. It's been a while since I looked up stuff about 9/11. I'm not religiously looking up 9/11 stuff, so I don't remember which tower is which. I think North. Actually, I do know. I'm stupid. North is this one. South is this one. Shortly after he arrived, the South Tower collapsed and Jimeno was trapped under 30 feet of debris. He was one of the 2 officers to be pulled out of the rubble alive, but spent weeks in the ICU undergoing 13 surgery. Damn. John McLigan tried to send a radio message for Jimeno's pregnant wife. McLowan, a sergeant with the Port
Anthony police was trapped with Jimeno under the rubble. He tried to use his radio to send a final message to the rookie officer's heavily pregnant wife, asking that she fulfill Jimeno's wish that they named their unborn child Olivia. Nick Lowen survived being buried underground for 22 hours after being placed in a medically induced coma for 6 weeks. He returned to Ground Zero 4 months later to witness the removal of the final column at Ground Zero. And that was it for this video, guys. Of me reading 9 September 11th survivor stories.